If I could only ever have one distortion pedal, this would be it. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to this demo and review of the Dyna Distortion BJFe In Your Hand series pedal from One Control. This is their highest end. These are handmade in Japan, and they feature the classic look of one of Bjorn's famous boutique overdrives. This is a Bjorn design pedal. Now, this is a pedal that I actually have quite a bit of experience with. I love this pedal, and I own and have owned multiple ones of this circuit from actually several different companies. And this, to me, is just, this is the distortion. It just sounds like I want a distortion to sound. It can do the Marshall thing, but I wouldn't call it like a Plexi clone. If you back it off, it doesn't just sound fizzy and weak. It actually has again, I just said it's not a Marshall clone. It almost does like a JTM 45 thing a little bit if you back it off. If you really get the drive rolling, it just rips. Now, there have been multiple versions of this circuit. This is the 4-knob one. This gives you volume, drive, treble, and presence. And between those four, you can dial in loads of different tones. Now, One Control also makes a regular standard version of this, which is also a fantastic pedal. This, again, being the highest end, it's hand-wired, uses high-grade components, and, of course, with the unique enclosure that's a throwback to Bjorn's pedals, as I mentioned. So, before we get any further, let's jump back in and listen to some more tone with more of a detailed run-through of the knobs. Okay, so you can hear it does the distortion thing really well. The classic grind, the saturation, it just nails a lot of those tones. But obviously, the use of distortion is not just limited to that. In fact, many of you may be surprised because might not strike you as much of a distortion player. I don't really get into kind of heavy drives and things. There are a lot of ways that you can use this as sort of a foundation drive, but particularly if you're using a Fender like a Stratocaster, if you want to go for some of those classic lower gain Hendrix amp tones, this will get you in that territory real well. So now we're going to jump back in with a Stratocaster and listen to it on some lower gain settings. All right, everyone, I want to say a huge thank you to One Control for sending this over. This is the third of their In Your Hands series that I have and have reviewed. I also have their Honeybee, which is one of Bjorn's other like kind of classic pedals, and the Shades of Green, which has become just one of my favorite overdrive pedals. These are really, really high end. These are custom shop kind of quality, again, handmade. So they're a little bit pricier than your typical offering from One Control, but I think if it's something you're in the market for, I think it's worth it. I definitely think it's not necessarily something that you would need if if you're just looking for the sound, the lower level. I say lower level, like I don't mean to say that in a demeaning way to the other pedals. The other pedals are really good as well, but the lower grade, so to speak, pedals. I think the lower grade pedals deliver the tone really well, and the functionality. And One Control pedals are built really sturdy. This is, I wouldn't say it's like only collector's items, but it's that kind of like, hey, if you got the money, this thing is special. So I'm gonna link to where you can check that out below. That is not an affiliate link. That's just a link to their website. I do want to say thank you to One Control for sending this over. I've been doing reviews with One Control for years, and I can honestly say that they've never disappointed me in anything. I think they're making great stuff. I think Bjorn designs great circuits. So check out the Dyna Red Distortion from the BJFe In Your Hands series. I'm Jack Fossett. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.